Welcome, scum and villainy, to the latest Mendalorian, where we watch along to Star Wars Mandalorian on Disney Plus. This week we are up to season 3, chapter 3. No, season 3, episode 3, chapter 19. That's how they like to brand it. I don't know. Am I a fan? I'm not particularly sure, but there we go. That's what it is. Coming off what I felt was a really good episode, The Mines of Mandalore last week. So I'll be watching. I've got my trusty cup of tea in my Star Wars mug. Got my Disney Plus ready to go. No Jimmy this week. Unfortunately, we had a scheduling conflict. So just got me, I'm afraid. I'll be watching along. I'll be fast forwarding through the bits that are duller and giving you my pithy remarks throughout. So let's do this, shall we? Let's key up Series 3, Episode 3 of The Mandalorian. And let's see Din Djarin continue his journey. Obviously, he's made it to Mandalore. We saw glimpses of the Mythosaur. We're going to see more of that this week. This episode is 59 minutes, so you know I love a bit of lore, so this could be deep in lore. Deep! Right, let's do this. Let's watch Series 3, Episode 3. Chapter, 19? Yeah, chapter 19. It's called The Convert. So perhaps we'll get deep into some Mandalore lore. Got my brew. No nuts. His enthusiasm outweighs his discretion. I really want to start to know about the reasons behind the Empire, the old remnants of the Empire wanting Grogu. Is it linked to Palpatine coming back? I kind of want to know. Really was a dark episode last week, wasn't it? Really dark. And we mentioned it on the last episode, but yeah, couldn't see a thing. An incident, just to address one of my comments from last week. Had we seen the destruction of Mandalore on screen? We kind of did in season 2, I believe, of The Mandalorian. I'd forgotten. Or was it Book of Boba Fett? I've been watching them back and I saw it, so they did depict it somewhat. So that answers that. Still dark. Still dark. You bathed in the living water. Simple as that. Done. You are Mandalorian again. They insinuating that the Mythosaur is like some Godzilla-like creature that's been awakened from nuclear testing in the Pacific Ocean. Oh, in which case, yes, I'm all in. Well, how does he eat normally? That is the unanswered question. Can he eat without taking his helmet off? Grogu's gone into his protective egg. Some TIE interceptors are chasing them down. Oh, I don't get enough kind of galactic space battling. This is great. You know, Din has started to really be able to learn to fly the N1. I've always loved the camera work. Whenever Din Djarin's in the M1, you know, it's almost like Top Gun style in his face. Very kinetic, and that's noticeable since they introduced the M1 Starfighter into the story. Oh, you know, this is what I want. I want seeing these two Mandalorian kind of team up together. It's great. I want to see a reformed Mandalorian nation getting some revenge on the remnants of the Empire. That's what I want. I want to get more political. Come on. Give us that good stuff that we got on Andor. That's great. That's some great in-air action. TIE bombers. Oh, we've seen them all. Interceptors, bombers. We destroyed Bo-Katan's castle. Oh, I'm liking this. There we go. That was the opening. Crikey. That's a great segment. I do wonder who is this imp warlord that's clearly really desperate to get hold of Bo-Katan and Mando. Oh, we're at the Oscars, space Oscars. Interesting. So, alluding to was Grogu and that research being used for to regenerate palps? The person who I admired most. This is great. Seeing a lot of just what I said at the start. Give me the political machinations. I get the sense someone's going to take him out, take the Doctor out now that he's working for the New Republic. Eyes on the road, fella. Eyes on the road. Nice to see Coruscant and the New Republic. It's funny when they talk about reintegration and getting people who were Empire sympathizers back into the New Republic. It kind of blurs that lines as to what are we the villains? Is the New Republic just as bad as the Empire? You do wonder. Shots. This is really interesting. Like how do people deal with coming out of a regime like the Empire, almost like the remnants of Nazi Germany in the 40s and into the 50s? How do people who signed up for that, who are indoctrinated into that, how do they, how do they come out and how do they kind of get back to their normal lives and change their whole political ideology? And how that transition must have been hard. I'm not sympathizing with them. Of course, they were Nazis and imperial officers, but you know what I mean. Oh, someone's giving him some little Empire biscuits. They look like rich tea. Dull, flavorless, dry biscuit of the galaxy far, far away. That's a very prequel shot that I've just done there. Two people walking down a CG corridor. Very, very prequel. Very George Lucas. He's clearly struggling to integrate, isn't he? Integrate back into a society based on free will and no distinct order. It's interesting. This is a very Blade Runner scene, isn't it? Are we trying to find out if he's a replicant? If he still holds positive feelings towards the Empire. This is really interesting because it's that reversal of roles. These two former empirical officers trying to not rebel, but they're trying to go against the system to continue his cloning research. Very much like the rebellion we're doing against the Empire. Those similarities that they're drawing here are really interesting. Enjoying this episode so far. It's really good. I want to know what happens when they kind of start to reject the amnesty program. I'm hoping we can maybe get a sense of that. Do they just take them out back and shoot them? Who knows? So they've gone out to search for this mobile research station for the Doc to continue his research into cloning. Seen a nice. It's seen another side of Coruscant, I think, here. It's always felt very clean and very sterile in the films. But I always like it when we see like the seedy underbelly of Coruscant. We've got some security bots. They almost look like that design is very reminiscent of a Sith trooper from the KOTOR game. Very metallic look. Obviously, the metal because they're robots, but very metal trooper-like. I think I've wandered into first class, getting some stray looks. Yes, some riled looks from the gentry, the Coruscant gentry. Kind of the look I get when I wander into first class. A very convenient, soft-looking box that they landed on there. Almost like it was filled with air. In the WWE when they do a massive drop from like the staging into some cardboard boxes, that was like that. Rubbish. Found a decommissioned Star Destroyer. Gone very dark again. I can't really make out what's happening. I guess it would be dark, wouldn't it? Why would you have lights on in a decommissioned Star Destroyer? Well, come on, turn them on. That's the first thing you should do. Although that would then project your location to the New Republic security forces. I must think smarter, not harder. Dr. Pershing? So this relationship between the two is really quite interesting. And they've found each other, struggling against the reintegration into the New Republic. Nice. They found kindred spirits. Perhaps a new cause. Who knows?
This is perfect.
To do the greater good.
What was that?
No.
Just the ship settling. Keep packing.
The New Republic have found them. This is very Andor, isn't it? Very Andor. No. She turned on him. What a bitch. Nice twist. He's going in the mind flayer. She's now cranking up the mind flayer. No. She's sadistic. And we're back to Mando. Interesting. An episode bookended by Mando. So they've Din Djarin's taken Bo-Katan back to the combat. This could be interesting. A clash of ideologies could emerge here. This is what I wanted. He's bought a little capsule of the water, his bath water. I'm sure there's some OnlyFans accounts that would sell that. But it's his proof. It's proof that he's bathed in the waters of the mines of Mandalore. He is of the way again. My dirty bathwater. He's back in the convert. Yes! She can take her helmet off.
I did. And have.
So Bo-Katan's in. Din Djarin's in. Grogs is in. Interesting. Will she be able to kind of stick to the the ways of the Creed. I think that's it. That was it. Lee Isaac Chung, directed by. So much to unpack there. So much to unpack. I love that. That was awesome. First off, kind of the similarities between the two joint storylines going on there. Like these four characters, two, you know, in each story, two characters trying to battle against their former ideologies. Bo-Katan, will she be accepted into, you know, the ways of the convert? Will you know, Dr. Pushkin, forgive me if I got that name wrong, trying to reintegrate into the New Republic, and, you know, being taken along by the other characters of I forget her name, the communications officer, former Imperial officer. You know, and she's still clearly clinging on to like the ways of the Empire. That was a great episode, and I think it's because it went it was just more than the surface. You know, it was more than Mando and Grogu going on a whimsical adventure. It was kind of delving into a lot more of the psychology and like geopolitical situation at the time. It sounds bullshit, but that kind of depth really added something to it. Sorry if that's a bit loud. Turn that down. But yeah, I really, really thoroughly. I think that's probably my favorite episode of Mandalorian so far. And I think it's because it had a lot of elements, stylistic elements from Andor. You know, really kind of getting into that political nitty gritty and how people deal with that, the people on the ground, how these massive changes in political discourse change the people on the ground. But yeah, that was fantastic. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope my kind of positivity came through for you. That was this week's episode of Mendalorian. More coming next week. And don't forget to also subscribe to the YouTube channel. We love your subscriptions. We do a live podcast every Friday night at 6:45 GMT BST, and when we talk the latest in geek culture. Also, please do look out for Rentrek, which is Jimmy's baby. It's where he's doing a watch along of Picard season 3 and loving it. The positivity just oozes off him, and it's made me go and watch season 1 of Picard. So yeah, I'm hoping you're enjoying these series, these watch alongs. It's something we kind of enjoy doing, and if you like it, we'll do more of them. Maybe we'll branch out into God knows what else, films or wrestling or whatever. But I think it's a great concept. Do please put your comments below what you thought of this episode of Mandalorian. I'd love to know. Did you think it was good as mine, as good as I thought, or not? I'd love to know. But yeah, until next time, I need a witty kind of sign off here, because what Jimmy's got, live long and prosper. What can I say? Oh, of course, may the force be with you.